We are currently in the Gold Coast, Australia, and we are going to see the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. This sanctuary was built in 1947 and it has been added to the Queensland Heritage Register. As you enter, you are stamped so that you can go anywhere inside the sanctuary. You can also avail the toy train to access the further parts of the sanctuary. The koalas are marsupials native to Australia. They live a very sedentary life. They sleep nearly 20 hours a day and they eat the leaves of the eucalyptus tree. There are photo opportunities with the koalas in the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. We are at the aviary now. My son isn't very convinced about approaching the bird, but the bird itself is fearless. The kangaroos are also marsupials which are indigenous to Australia. This sanctuary is really good for children because you can pet the kangaroos, interact with them. There are some emus too, but the kangaroos are really friendly. You can see a joey in the mother's pouch.
Don't be aggressive, okay?
The kangaroos seem to be enjoying their siesta.
Did you do it?
No, actually not.
We are entering the crocodile zone. The crocodile also shares space with the lizards. ওখানে অনেকগুলো আছে। The cassowary is also native to Australia, but it is not a very friendly bird and it can be dangerous if it attacks.
যা আর একটু কাছে যা শুভ, আর একটু কাছে যা শুভ।
That is the lorikeet. They are very colorful birds, and all over the sanctuary you will find lots of them. There's Mr. Croc in the water. The temperature is controlled, we were told, so that he feels comfortable, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to meet him when you're taking a dip. The sanctuary is a large area and it can get very tiring, so one has to keep taking breaks from time to time, especially if you're traveling with a small child. That is the wombat, which is another marsupial which is native to Australia.
They close it up like that, and it's flat. It's bowed. It's really.
Everywhere. We can find birds from the freezing conditions of the Antarctic all the way through the searing heat of our deserts. And in today's show, we're going to give you an idea about how in more recent times these birds have adapted around terrible table manners as well. They can also be found living in very hot conditions throughout northern Australia. But regardless of where we find pelicans today, particularly the whistling kite here, They're a bird species that has been known to steal whole steaks and sausages off barbecue hot plates. I'm going to be throwing some food up for our... The black kites are showing you something quite unique today. They'll show you something that's known as feeding or eating on the wing. What you'll see with our black kites today is you'll know breasted buzzard. Now this bird's name is Major. Major's going to join us here today. How are you, Major? Now what Major's going to need is a tool to crack open this egg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this bird a rock. Okay, watch this bird find his own rock. Watch what he does with it. He's going to throw that rock down until it smashes way inside. Now what you are witnessing here today, ladies and gentlemen, is what we refer to as a hardwired or instinctive behaviour. Being hardwired or instinctive means that was never taught to this bird by a human. Now give a big round of applause for that. Today. Now the story behind this behaviour goes back a very long way. The story behind it was actually a very old story that was first told to the early Europeans going for 1,000 years and adapted new ways if the environment chooses for it to. The black-breasted buzzard is very different. I want you to listen very carefully today. Barn owls, like all owls, have silent flight. They love to eat rats and mice. Rats and mice have incredible hearing. So to ensure those rats and mice don't hear the barn owl coming, they have over time adapted this silent flight. Now here in Australia, the barn owl has Afro Bailey flies. The barking owls have been known to take down prey items that are twice their own body size. These birds can take down something the size of a big brush-tailed possum, even something that's the size of, say, a rabbit. So they can consume a very big prey item. They just won't consume the whole prey item. If a barking owl catches a prey item that is too big to eat in one sitting, they will kill. Because in the 1922 to the late 60s, the Australian hunting was active. Introduced to them a little galah down here, got a major Mitchell or a pink cockatoo up there, and another one of those red-tailed black. Parrots rely on natural forming tree hollows.
Oh, yeah, that was true. Or look at a wallet. No, it's like a wallet. That's it.
Currumbin allows you to watch the vet in action if you want to. I'm not sure what that plant or flower is, but it looks very interesting. The day is coming to an end and we are tired, so we are taking the toy train back towards the entrance. That is the Aboriginal cultural show going on.
Okay, you got to be still. Slow movements and stand here and put your hands out. And all the rest are on your hands, okay? But you must...
As you can see, the lorikeets have adapted well. They are going through the crumbs that are left behind. We've had an enjoyable day at the Currumbin Sanctuary, and it is highly recommended if you're traveling with a small child or if you just love animals.